Hey everybody, welcome back. So it is Friday night right now, and I haven't done this for a while. I was going to show you what I have going on here as far as what we're going to be doing tomorrow. Okay, so what we're doing is a little bit different than normal, and I haven't actually drawn one of these out for a while. I've just been doing it out in the field, but I'm going to draw one of these real quick. So anybody that's new, go ahead and for about the next couple minutes anyway, I'm going to show you how to have it drawn up. We're going to be doing it a little bit differently, and there's a difference that I've only gotten one question about, even though there's kind of a big difference on the routing of cables and things like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you right now. By the way, I'm gonna be doing a bunch of these. I took a lot of the summer off doing these, but I'm gonna be starting back up again. I have a bunch to do. So I'm gonna flip the camera around here. I'm going to show you exactly what it is that I'm talking about. All right, so what we have here is we have two compound systems. You see one is a 15-to-1 and one is a 10-to-1. Now, if we look at them closer, I have the stump here in the same location on both, and I have the same anchor tree in the same location and the second anchor tree there. And I have 1, 2, 3, these little circles here are pulleys. I have 1, 2, 3 there, 1, 2 there, and then one all the way over here. So that's 6 pulleys. Same way over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, same number of strands, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's the first system, then 6, 7, 8. Same way down here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, as you notice, the only thing that's different between these two is the pulling force. Now, where I'm at now, normally what I've been doing in the past has been this guy right up here. And basically, I have the stump, I have a tree, I have another tree for a second anchor point, and this is a compound system, so I have a 5-to-1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's all anchored off the stump into a 3-to-1, and it's all anchored off the end of this cable. So that's how I get a 15-to-1. So it's a 3-to-1, a 5-to-1, multiplicative since it's a compound system. And there you go, there's your 15-to-1. And you're pulling, everything's going in this direction. The pulling of the stump is going in this direction. The pulling of the tractor is going in this direction. Now, the reason why this is only a compound system has to do with the second part right here. So if we look at the second part, I still have the same 5-to-1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I still have the same 5-to-1 going in this direction, but right here, I start it on the other end. So instead of on this one, I hook the one end of the cable right here, the second cable, but on this one, I hook it right here. So, and the reason why I have to do this in this case is because I cannot, on these next ones I'm doing, I can't pull this direction because I have a fence right behind this tree. I have a fence right here. And if I do this, I can only pull for like 30 feet before I'm out of it. Well, 30 feet's not going to get me anything over here. So I'm going to have to do this. I'm going to have to pull back because I can go in the other direction. I can go this way about another 200 feet. And so, but what I lose is I lose a 5-to-1 mechanical advantage. So, and a couple other things that I notice here. First of all, on these, I only have, let me get the pen out of the way so it focuses, 2,000 pounds of force. So I have 1,000 pounds of force that's my tractor. So it's pulling at 1,000 pounds, and because all the strands, and this is assuming a frictionless system, all you guys that are saying like, yeah, but it's not actually frictionless. I know, absolutely not, you're right. But in a perfect world, 1,000 on this strand would be 1,000 on this strand and 1,000 on this strand, since they're all part of the same system. Because if this went up to 1,001, then these would also be, 1,001 because the pulleys would basically spin. So we notice on this one, the anchor tree, I have, I'll get the pen out of the way, 2,000 pounds of force. Now on this one, I'm losing one multiplier, which is a 5-to-1 effectively, but I'm losing it. And if you notice on the anchor tree there, I have 3,000 pounds of force. So I'm gaining more force on this anchor tree, which I don't care about. And I'm losing it over here on the stump. So that's what's happening to it. So, but I don't have any choice in this matter. Now, I'm not sure if I'm going to do a 10-to-1 like this, or if I'm going to try, because this is only a 5-to-1, I might try to put a couple more pulleys on here and do a 7-to-1. So a 7-to-1 and a 2-to-1 would give me a 14-to-1 compound system pulling in this direction. And I haven't done one of those yet. And because I had somebody ask me one time, like, well, how do you know which end to put the to start the cable on. Really, it depends on the number of pulleys, and it also depends on which direction you have to pull it. But it does affect it, because normally you think like, well, every time you add a pulley, you gain a mechanical advantage, except in this case, because this is where you're wanting to pull, because this is the end of the cable right here. This is the end of the first cable of the first system. And so as you notice right here, there's only 2 lines. So although there's 3 right here, there's only 2 lines right here. So you're only ending up with 2,000 pounds instead of 3,000 pounds. That's why I do look at the vectors like this. So with this, we're going to end up losing a little bit of mechanical advantage. I don't think that a 10-to-1 system will be enough to do it. It may be. I may not have a choice if I don't have enough cable to go back and forth here, enough to get up to this up to a 7-to-1. I might have to deal with it being a 5-to-1. So it could be a 10-to-1. It could be a 14-to-1, if I can get a little bit more out of there. So this is the system I'm going to do. Like I said, it's Friday night. I have everything out there. I'm going to get it set up tomorrow on Saturday. And the next video clip will be me getting everything hooked up out there. All right, and welcome back. So it is Saturday. I just drew up the diagram there last night. So this is the next day here. Looks like it's going to rain here in a little bit, but that's all right. And you can see here's what I have hooked up now. Everybody's been complaining, not complaining necessarily, but reminding me, because I keep having problems. Like, hey, first of all, might as well put a notch in right away. So, okay, we got that notch cut right into it. Perfect. And they're like, hey, you're not doing the choker straps correctly. And I think that's got it now, so that should be good. The more I pull on it, the tighter it'll get around that guy. That's good. Now, if you notice here, we got 1, 2, 3. Can you see all of them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then the last one, 7 right there. So this is a 7-to-1 because it's pulling that way, and everything, all 7 of these strands will have an equal amount of weight on them. Theoretically, okay, we'll have equal amounts on them. And they're all tied around that stump right there. Okay. And by the way, these are the 4. I have all 4 of these to do right here. 1, 2. And the thing is, these 2, they look like they might be joined down there at the bottom, so I might have to do those at the one time. So I have that, and then they're anchored all the way down there. And then right here, here's the end. So this right here, this is the end of that system right there. And then we have here now, if you look, if you're familiar with my videos, we'll come back up here real quick. If you're familiar with my videos, I usually can just count the strands and then say, oh, okay, well, that's how many it is. So you come up here and like, okay, well, I see, 1, 2, 3. So it's a 3-to-1 system. No. And it's because of what I described there last night. Because I'm pulling towards, usually I'm pulling away, but this time I'm pulling towards the system. So effectively, this is just a redirect. That's all this is. It just redirects the force, because if that wasn't there, I could just pull that way and there's no difference in mechanical advantage. The only reason why I'm using that one is a redirect. So this really, what's pulling on the end of this cable from the first system is this, which is only 2 strands. So that's a 2-to-1 system. So 7-to-1 into a 2-to-1 right there. So this is a 14-to-1. All right. One other issue that I have, and I'm going to use the tractor, and everybody said, stop using the front guard. This guard, which, I mean, come on, that's pretty beefy. That's 10-millimeter thick steel right there. But anyway, I decided, okay, not going to do that. We're going to do this, and I had to make sure, obviously on the corner, I have this nice solid aluminum connector. That should be fine, and then all this around the edge is nice and rounded off all the way over, so that should be okay. Plus, this is the second phase, shouldn't be too bad. Now, this guy, I don't know, this tree isn't horribly big, but since this is the second part of the system, I think it shouldn't be too bad. I should be able to do it, but because I wanted to use this bigger one right back here, but I don't have enough straps to get this anchor back there, so I had to do this one right here. Regardless, it should be okay, I'm pretty sure. So I'm going to go ahead and just back the tractor straight up there, straight, because like I said, I have a couple 100 feet that I can go back there. That's more than I have synthetic cable, so that should be good. And what I'm really hoping, one extra thing here, from the house, from right about here, right down through here, is the drain line that goes to the septic tank. This is the guest house, which is right in here, which is why I have these all set up right now. So I'm really hoping that I don't do any damage to it. However, this is before the septic system, because if it's after, then run into a lot bigger of a problem, because you have a fill line or leach field or whatever you want to call it. But here it shouldn't be too bad. By the way, if anybody else wants to know what I'm going to do here, if you look, well, you can't really see, but there's a mound gone. So basically what's happened is, since this whole thing is on a slope, all this property right here is through a slope. Look at the base of that tree. You see how big of a mound that is? It's because the dirt level used to be about a foot higher, and it's all washed out over the years. Same way with that tree right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a concrete retaining wall right about 10 feet on the other side of this, that goes all the way around this this area right here. And with that being the case, I'm going to come in here and put fill dirt and raise the whole level up, and then plant grass so it stops eroding, because it just has been eroding over, you know, since well before I got it, you know, who knows, 100 years. So I wanted to get that stopped. You can see all the tomatoes in the background there, and then my 2 banana trees and clementines and everything else there. Those are going to go into a greenhouse, which is going to be right on the other side of this this fence. So, but anyway, enough stalling. If you guys could go ahead and leave me a comment, like, share, whatever you can do to give me a hand. I'm getting close to 1,000 subscribers, which is great. Never actually intended for that, but hey, that's really good. But yeah, the more you comment on the videos, things like that, the more it helps, the more the algorithm bumps it up. Likes do well, but for some reason they really prioritize comments. I think it's for engagement is what it is. So if you guys could leave me a comment, that'd be great. Anyway, here we go. We're going to get pulling, see if I can do it all in one shot, instead of, so I don't have to stop and, you know, reevaluate anything or redo or remove the straps or anything like that. I'm hoping I can get it all in one shot. So let's give it a shot, see what we can do. All right, I'll tell you what, since I'm going to be going right by the stump, I'm going to go ahead and just videotape as we go by here. So I'm on the tractor right now. It took to this corner of the bucket right there, and I'm going to try to keep it so you guys can see it as much as possible. I got the GoPro there on the left, you can see those too. So here we go. I'm just going to leave it at idle. I'm gonna have to move. It's coming up right behind me. There we go. There we go. It broke. We're all good. Oh. Look at that. Oh yeah. Oh man. Look at that. I still got room. Oh, in one shot? Come on, buddy. I'm just going to keep dragging it. I'm going to keep dragging it. Look at that. That is great. That's exactly what I wanted to see happen. Exactly what I wanted to see happen. All right. Let's go take a look before I give it any type of slack. Set the brake. All right. and you can tell from, yeah, okay, just broke up. Man, look at this. Oh yeah, look, see this big guy right here. It's this right here that was kind of underground that I didn't see. So I'm gonna have to dig him out with the bucket, which shouldn't be too bad. And this guy looks like broke off right there, and it looks like it was kind of intertwined with this one as well. But that one actually wasn't too terribly bad. And look at that. Choker loops work like a champ. It's all the way loose. I'm just dragging it across the top of the ground. You can see there the grass right there. So everything is disconnected. Wait, is it? Yeah, okay, he's broke free. Okay, well that was it, all in one shot. It's just amazing, and I don't see that drain line in there anywhere, so it doesn't look like I broke it. Hey, that worked actually really, really nicely. In fact, you know what? I'm gonna just reset it right on this one. I'm gonna get this one out of the way. I'm gonna reset it on this guy right here, because I already have everything out here, so why not, right? And we're gonna do both of these in this video. So hang on, I'm gonna get this out of here real quick and reset and give it a shot again. All right, I got the chain wrapped around it, everything's disconnected. Drilling holes around all these trees there so I can flood them with water and get them out a lot quicker. Since I'm gonna, in case anybody hasn't watched, my plan is to take all these trees down by all at one shot instead of cutting them down and then digging out the roots. Basically pulling them down, come up here about 20 feet or whatever, and then anchor it. And then after I anchor it, then I'm gonna pull with the tractor and just try to pull them all over. But before that, we'll have to, get some holes in the ground and all that good stuff. There we go. I'm gonna unhook it and get everything hooked up on the next one. I'm getting some thunder here, so it might start raining, but otherwise, I'm gonna hook right to the next one and keep going. All right, here we are, reset. I had to get just a little bit extra length, so I had to use another one, so we lose just a little bit of travel distance, but not much. We're still doing the same thing. 7 to 1 right there, 2 to 1 there, so we're at a 14 to 1. Right there, put the GoPro back in the same place. I'm gonna put both of these on one video, as long as this doesn't break and things become a lot more difficult, and then I'm gonna try to do those two on another video. So, let's just go ahead. I got the tractor all set up. Make sure that I'm not gonna be rubbing on the edge right here, so we're good. All right, let's get to it. Low, first gear.
than the other one. Break, Stump. Don't break. Come on, buddy. Don't break. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's got a lot more beef behind it. But it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. A lot beefier. Oh, I can't see much. I can't see much. I'm holding it up. Can you guys see? Oh, that's all I got. That's all the more rope that I got. Go forward a little bit. Get a little bit of slack in it. All right, that's some slack. Let's go take a look now. Get the parking brake on. All right, how does she look now? Oh, wow. Yeah, there's a lot more there than the last one. The last one was just real superficial compared to that. Look at that big chunks. Okay, that one looks like it's broken. This guy right here is already broken. It's just sitting there. There's a wedge that I cut out. God, I just can't tell if this is still look at that, choked right into the notch there. Just couldn't have asked for it better. So everybody that's helped give me hints on this to make it better, go back and look at my first videos. I was just fighting this, had a heck of a time. So I really appreciate everybody that has been giving me hints. I mean, this is easy. By the way, from the time I ended the last, after I pulled the first stump, the last part of that video, and I said, hey, I'm gonna reset it, took me 10 minutes just to get it reset onto this guy. Maybe 15 minutes, not very long at all. I don't think we're all the way loose. Yeah, I don't think we're all the way loose there. So what I might have to do, yeah, I know what I'm gonna do. What I'm going to do is I'm gonna take out this second part, you know, this 2-to-1, because this is the end of the first one now, right? That's the end of the first one. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take him out, get a little bit extra length here to bring this pulley down here, and it'll just be a redirect. And then I'm going to take this, wrap it around that pulley, and then bring the tractor back up here and pull, so that way I have another, you know, 100 feet. And how much room do I have on these pulleys? Yeah, so I still have about 6 feet between here and here, so I can pull that thing another 6 feet. But since it's 7-to-1, I can actually pull it about 42 feet to close up this 6-foot gap there, because there's 7 strands times 6-foot gap. So I can actually pull about 42 feet is what it'll take to get these right here. But this whole thing will move 6 feet my way, and that should be enough to go ahead and disconnect it. So I'm going to go ahead and get it reset, and I'll be right back. Well, I got it tightened back up. The problem is that we have a rain delay now. It's starting to rain here pretty good, so I'm gonna head back in the guest house here, and we'll see if this passes here in just a couple minutes real fast. Yeah, just as I figured, a very short-lived little rainstorm, maybe, oh, I don't know, 5 minutes or so. So anyway, like I said, I got rid of it. Now we don't have the 2-to-1 pulley here. We just have, that's the main rope. It just goes out and around one pulley. So that pulley is just a redirect. So we're only at a 7-to-1 now. And like I said, I got 6 feet between these two, hooked up to the stump there. So I'm just gonna try to pull it a few feet just so I know that everything is disconnected, because I don't know how many times I'm like, oh, okay, everything seems to be cut loose, and there'll be like one big one in there and I have to stop and redo. Oh man, that's seat is wet. That is not pleasant. Just a second. I don't know what I do with my keys. All right, guys, be right back. All right, I am back with the keys. So here we go. It looks like sliding right on top of the ground. We're gonna go for a little bit longer. And you see we're closing this gap right here, so I'll have much further that I can go before they're buried into each other. You can see it's just running right on top of the ground. And that's about all the more I got. Wait, do a little bit more. I heard something crack. Okay, that's all the more I got. Oh, yeah. Oh, let's get down. I don't know if you can see from there. Here, let me come down. I'll show you what I see here. So this root actually isn't a part. Yeah, you see, it's not actually a part. It's coming from those. Weird. It grew underneath and like in between these. Yeah, that's really weird. That's all right. He'll come out of there. But as you notice, everything is obviously, everything's broke free. I mean, the grass is like right here and it's pulled like way beyond that. That's one thing I haven't talked a whole lot about because I haven't run into this issue, is you can only go so far before these end up, because if you get all the way tight there and then you pull past that, it's going to start breaking stuff real fast. So, and that's actually not very much tension right now. So I'm going to go ahead and get a little bit of slack here, get this guy out of here, and we'll call it a day. All right, let's see if I got enough power in the tractor to pick her up. Not even an issue. Yep, that's where those two were at. Looks like there's that guy right there. I'll come back and just get him by himself. I don't need a tractor for that. Woo. By the way, banana trees don't normally grow in Georgia. However, I have an idea to keep them just above freezing during the winter. And as long as I keep them above freezing, they should live pretty well. You know what? That's first gear. I don't like first gear. Let's do third. Faster. And then now we can go back to first. Line. Let's see if I can get it in there a little bit. And that is it. Look back there. Those two are gone. Those two are still there. I might just try to get them tomorrow since I already have everything stretched out. They're about the same length. I might just try to do those two there. So, but that'll end it over for this video. And the next video will probably be those other two. All right, and again, any help you guys can give, comment, like, share the video, whatever you can. It's always appreciated. So, hope everybody has a good weekend. We'll see you next time.